Hello, Marissa. This is Murphy. I thank you for your post for this week's discussion. It is actually a good post, and I can relate a lot to what you were saying, even about being a good coach, and even the self awareness of that is needed as a good coach. And I believe that not only as a coach, but as a person, as a human being. That it is important for us to be aware of who we are and our flaws and our issues, and not only our issues, but we as coaches have a responsibility. I do believe that we have a responsibility to check our pride at the door, if you will. And as for myself, I know that this is something that I've had to work on in the past. I've had to work on in my life as being a prideful person at one point or another. That I've had to set my pride aside and realize that I'm only human. And I believe as coaches, that is something that we have the responsibility to do. Not only check our ego, not only check our pride, but also be what is called be competent to do the work. Always increasing in knowledge, always increasing in what we know or what we don't know, rather, because what we know is fine, but it's the things that we don't know. And we put our ego aside, as you said, put our pride aside, and we learn and we grow in those areas that we need to grow in, and don't try to hide it. And I understand also about being someone who may be too helpful or try to help too much, because sometimes as people or as human beings that care a lot, we have a tendency of trying to help those that don't always want help, don't always care for help, or just feel like they don't need our help. So it can cause us to interject ourselves, and unfortunately, not everyone wants that help. So we as coaches have to be aware of their body language, what they are saying, as well as what they're not saying. Do they really want our help? Even in our own families, even in our own lives. And, you know, sometimes I've learned that even in my own marriage and even in life, that sometimes some people just want to be heard. So we have a responsibility just to listen sometimes and not always say, because I've found where people have a tendency to talk out their own issues and come to resolve on their own, to come to resolve on some of the things on their own. But in that, I can understand where you're coming from. And also, as it was written in chapter 3 of the book that we're reading, we have to be not only listen with our ears, but with our eyes, and listen to what's being said as well as what's not being said. And as a good coach, it is our responsibility to read between the lines, and also, keep our personal experiences or personal issues out of the relationship. So yeah, but thank you again for your post. I appreciate it. I appreciate your discussion board, and I appreciate your openness. And thank you. And I pray that you have an awesome school semester, and that you reach the top in your endeavors. God bless. Talk to you again soon.